going on, guys? Eat some dinner. Chips and burger. What's that? What would you classify that as? A wedge? A chip? Sorry, I'm just fucking eating on camera, but... Mukbang. I've been watching some short films that me and my friend made ages ago, like fucking ages ago, like well, 6-7 years ago, longer. Let me just check. From 6 to fucking 9 years ago. Forgive me for eating, but fuck it. So 9 years ago, I was 11 years old. And when you're a kid, you're, for some people, like me, you can be more authentic. You're more authentic because you're not aware of as many things as you are when you become older. As you go through life, you get older and older, and thus becoming more and more aware of things. And so, when you're a kid, identity doesn't really come into your field of awareness. That's not really something you ponder upon. In my case, anyway, and I'm sure in most people's cases. Because, I mean, I've always been anxious or shy, or, you know, had that sort of quality to me. But, I mean, that's all I ever knew. And it's just like, I just dealt with it. It was just like, okay, that's me, that's what I do. You know, this is just the way that I act. You know, I didn't really explore other people's perspectives. You know, what other people perceiving through their cognition and their senses and shit, you know what I mean? That's not a thought that a child comes across. Well, maybe they do, but not me. So as I became older, it got more, you know, I started to realise, like, this is becoming a problem, an obstacle. The fact that I am shy and anxious is making me not be able to fucking move along in life. And so then I started becoming more fucking introspective. Is that the word? Like, trying to become more aware of the thoughts and the limiting beliefs and go, hang on a minute, why? This is really the question of gaining more awareness. You keep asking the question, why? And then that brings up a whole other range of questions. You know, you get an answer, but then you got a whole fucking more infinity of questions, and then you ask those questions, and then they lead off into fucking more answers, which lead off to more questions, and it goes on an infinite amount until you reach God, and then you just like, fuck it, it is what it is what I guess. And so, what's happened, I think, along the years is I'm really sort of resisting it now. I'm resisting the fact that I am But I do have these shy and anxious qualities in me, you know, because I've noticed it, and now I'm like, just like, well, I need to fucking change that. I don't want to be this way anymore. So I'm resisting it, as because before I'll just accept it. You know, it's just like, okay, this is who I am. This is the way that I act. It is what it is. It's fine. But yeah, as time goes on, then I'm like, I don't fucking like the way that I'm like this now. So there's that resistance, and so authenticity doesn't flow intuitively as much as it did when I was a kid, because I'm constantly analysing everything. You know, I say something, or I do something, act silly, or whatever. I'd say something, or do something, or feel something, or whatever, and I have to go, oh fuck. I analyse it and I go, is that right of me to do that, or is it wrong of me to do that? Having some sort of like moral judgment in my mind, like, is that right to do that? Is that wrong? Is that how I want to be? Is that what I want to do? And I analyse it to the point where it's just fucking, there's no presence, there's no just flow. Whereas before, yeah, it's just like, I wasn't aware of this shit. It's just like the way that it was, and you know, different. So it's just like, well, I'll flow with it. And if like I say something awkward or do something awkward, I'll forget about it like a lot easier and quicker. But now, it's just sort of like, I'm a perfectionist. Like, I have to be how I want to be. I have to be right. But I'm bouncing back up. Like, past few years have been pretty low because I've been out of school, and so it's a whole different ball game now, and it's shown me, you know, I'm like, there's not a whole lot of people that I'm hanging around with. I'm isolated most of the time, and so it's given me this time to really fucking be introspective, really go inwards and see all this fucking anxiety and stuff. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Basically, I'm on the road to that authenticity that I had before, where I didn't overanalyze everything. However, I don't think that's a step backward. I'm not returning back to who I was before, because obviously I've learnt something here. I guess what I've learnt now, what I'm learning, it's still an ongoing process, but what I'm learning is to take responsibility for my life. Whereas before I didn't really. I let other people control and dictate how my life was going to be. I mean, that's just what you do as a kid, though. You just let your parents tell you what to do. You let society tell you what to do. Is that a fingernail I was just chomping on? maybe. You let the culture tell you what to do. You just let authority tell you what to do. Some more than others. And even when you come out of school, I'm sure there are a lot of parents that are like, well, like go to uni or get a job, and then you feel pressured to do that. It's like, yeah, you might rather do this other creative outlet, but it's going to be hard to get your foot in the door and, get into some sort of industry that's creative. It's a lot easier to just get a 9 to 5 job or just sign up for uni. And so when people are pressured to do that, alongside the more difficult approach of artistic work, then people just succumb, and they do let authority dictate their life. But anyway, I guess the other thing is being dictated by your own emotions and, your own psyche, your own mind. Your mind is a great servant, but a terrible master. You know what I mean? I don't know what quote, who said that quote, and that's the other thing I guess I'm starting to learn, is I'm starting to take responsibility for my emotions and feelings, where I can just look at them and go, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to believe you. They're just thoughts, and they're conditioned thoughts. They're not necessarily true. So I guess what I'm doing now is trying to not view every emotion and thought as true. It's like, I don't have to take action on that thought. I don't have to follow that thought. I don't know. Here's some ideas anyway. But I guess this is the direction I want to head in, where I'm not a servant to my negative emotions and thoughts, where I can see them and go, you're not going to help me. I'm not going to keep focusing on you. You can fade away. And the problem that I've faced with doing this is I guess when it doesn't go away, then you beat yourself up. And I'm getting over that as well. I'm going, okay, if it still happens, that's fine. I'm still not going to focus my energy and attention on it though. It's like, here's some behaviour that I don't like, that I do, like that I get awkward or anxious around people. Before, so start from the very start, I'll be like, feel anxious and feel awkward and socially anxious around people, but I'll just accept it and be like, okay, that's just the way I am. And then it progressed into, well, I don't want to fucking be like that anymore. And so when it would happen, I'd beat myself up about it and be like, fuck's sake, I thought I would be able to fucking change this, but nah, it still fucking happens. Fuck you, cunt. And that's still focusing on it. It's focusing on it to the max. And then I guess now the direction I'm trying to head in is not wanting that behaviour of being awkward and anxious around people. But if it happens, then I have to just accept it and be more aware of how it comes into my mind and my body. What's the trigger? I mean, it's hard because it's a deeply rooted thing within me. Awkwardness and social anxiety sort of is one of the things, It's been conditioned within to me. And so yeah, but yeah, like I said, the direction I'm heading in is going, okay, I don't want that behavior in me anymore, but if it happens, I'll acknowledge it, I'm going to be aware of it, but I'm not going to keep focusing on it, because when you keep focusing on it, then it shows up more and more. I don't know what this video is about, but what I also wanted to say is that look at the, like, this too shall pass. Like, I was watching these videos from fucking 6 years ago and shit, and it's like, fuck, I seemed a lot more, like, authentic there. I could express myself a lot more. You know, acting a character. I was expressing the vibe of a character. For me now, like, it's hard to get into it. Like, if I'm doing a short film, which I haven't done in a fucking while, but if I were to, actually no, I did one recently, like last year, and I felt like I couldn't just get into this character's vibe because I was too in my own head, in my own character called Jasper's head, you know, and I couldn't just switch characters. And but yeah, this too shall pass. I'm sure I'll go in, because what was interesting as well is seeing me as like 11 years old, and then me at 14 years old hitting puberty, and then me at 16 years old where I'm more or less sort of like this, and it's just funny seeing those stages. And then I watched a video, a vlog of mine on my other channel from only 10 months ago, and I was looking at that and going, that's interesting too. That's interesting. I remember that vibe, and it's only fucking 10 months ago, it's not that long ago. But what I'm saying is, years in the future, I'll look back at this video and I'll be like, I remember that vibe. Remember that shit. But right now, like in the future, I could be watching this and going, good fucking times. And I do that with the past all the time. I look back at my past and go, those were some good times. And I could be doing this with this video, but this is only a fucking snapshot. Because my life right now, my life situation, is not all fucking sweet and dandy. It's got elements of good, but it's also got elements of bad. And sometimes I romanticize the past and go, oh, those were the good old days. But it's like, no, I was still suffering a lot. It's just I'm focusing in on one aspect of my past. I'm not seeing the whole picture, you know what I mean? And so if you're watching this, Jasper, in the future, don't get the right idea. Like, if you're fucking depressed in the future, don't get the right idea that this was the time. I think that when you do go look back in the past, I think why you think it's so good is that maybe your problems evolve and they become more complex. So then you look back in the past and go, fuck, they were a lot simpler. Why did I fucking take that for granted? Those problems were easy to solve. Why did I take like the positives for granted back then? Like, why did I keep focusing on the problems? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I have faith in myself to be authentic, as much as it doesn't fucking seem like it in this moment, in my life situation. The moment doesn't seem like I'll be able to reach that authentic place where I can express myself easily and not feel so judged. But I do have some faith that I'll figure it out. And so yeah, with that, I'll say thanks for watching. Have a good day or night. Peace out. 20-minute video. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam. See ya.